The sun was going down behind the tall prime tree of pinewood forest. Long shadows fell across the ground, and the air turned cool and still. Emily, Jake, Sophie, and Mark had been hiking since morning. They were on a weekend trip to explore the old Pinewood Trail, which had not been used much in years. I read online that no one come here anymore, Sophie said. Looking around, they say people used to get lost. Jack laughed. People say lot of things. It's just a trail. We have maps, GPS, and snacks. We will be fine. Emily smiled but did not say anything. Something about the forest felt odd. It was too quiet, no birds, no insects, just the sound of their footsteps on dried leaves. As they walked deeper, the trail seemed to vanish. Trees stood closer together now, as if the forest was trying to hide the path. Wait, Mark said, stopping. Where is the trail? Jake checked his phone. We were on it. It should be right there. But the map did not help. The GPS showed them in the middle of the green blur. Suddenly, there was a rustling sound. Probably a squirrel, Sophie whispered. But Emily knew better. That sound had weight, something bigger. Then came a whisper, very faint, almost like the wind, but not quite. Did you hear that? She said. Hear what? Jack replied. I said go back, she whispered. The group stood still for a moment. Emily's heart was beating fast. She looked at the other. I swear, I heard someone whispered go back. Maybe it was the wind, Mark said. Trees make weird sounds. But Sophie frowned. No, I heard something too. Not words, but I did not feel natural. The forest was darker now. The tall trees blocked the sun almost completely. Jack turned on his flashlight. The beam lit up floating dust and twisted branches. He said, let's keep moving. We will find the trail again. They walked in silence for another hours. The deeper they went, the strange things felt. The air was thick, heavy, like the forest was watching. Suddenly Emily stopped. Look! In the distance, behind twig vines and fallen logs, stood a small wooden cabin. Its windows were broken, the door huge open, moss covered most of the roof. Jake said, that's not on the map. Sophie added, no one said anything about a cabin. Mark asked, should we check it out? Jack looked uncertain, only for a minute. They walked toward it carefully. The door creaked as they pushed it open. Inside, it smelled of mold and old wood. Dust covered everything, broken chair, a torn couch, and a strange symbol covered in the floor. What is that? Emily asked, pointing at the symbol. In was a circle with line and marks she did not recognize. At the center, a small black stone sat cracked down the middle. Mark stepped inside the circle. Don't do it, Emily shouted, but it was too late. The wind outside roared like a scream. The door slammed shut. The window darkened, and then they heard it again, clear this time. A whisper, deep and echoing. You should be here. The cabin was dark. Cold air rushed through the broken window. The strange circle on the floor seemed to glow faint now. Emily pulled Mark out of the circle. What are you doing? I don't know, Mark said, his voice shaky. I felt something, like something wanted me to stay here. Sophie looked around. The place is wrong. We need to leave now. Jack tried to open the door, but it would not budge. It was like something had locked it from outside. Sophie yelled, "Break it!" Jack pushed with his shoulder. The wood cracked. Finally, the door flew open, and what they saw outside made their blood freeze. The forest has changed. The trees were twisted, the sky was pitch black, even though it was still early evening. Fog covered the ground, and something was moving in the mist. Tall, thin shadow, walking toward a tree. What the hell? Mark whispered. They ran. They did not know where, just away from the cabin, away from the whisper. But the forest did not get lost. The path twisted, branches moved, trees seemed to shift when they were not looking. Every time they thought they were going the right way, they ended up in the same spot, the cabin, again and again. "We are trapped," Emily said, tears in his eyes. Suddenly, a voice spoke. This time, not a whisper, a deep, rumbling voice from another two once. "You came where you were not called." The forest talked. What is old? Then, from the shadows, a figure appeared. It looked like a man, but his skin was bark, and his eyes glowed green. He walked slowly, branches growing out of his back. "Who are you?" Jake shouted. "I am the keeper of the pines," the figure said. "Long ago, this land was cursed. You broke the seal." Mark looked down at the stone he had stabbed on in the circle. It was now glowing red. "Only one may can live," the keeper said. "A sacrifice must be made." "No," Emily screamed. "We did not mean to come here." But the forest did not care about meaning. It cared about rules. Suddenly the ground cracked beneath them. Vines shot up and grabbed Sophie's legs. She screamed as they pulled her toward the cabin. Jack tried to help, but more vines grabbed him. Emily stood frozen, unable to move, watching her friends being pulled away. Then silence. The fog lifted. She was alone. 1 week later, Miller stood near the edge of Pinewood Forest, talking a search party. "We found only one," a rescue worker said. "The girl." Emily sat wrapped in a blanket, staring into the trees. She had not said a word. The sheriff walked over. "Emily, can you tell us what happened?" She looked at him slowly. Her voice was flat. "The forest took them." Then she whispered, almost too soft to hear, "And one day I will take me too." My name is Elisa, and I need to say this before it's too late. I was not always like this. I used to laugh, sleep peacefully, hang out with friends, but everything changed last fall. After that night in Devil's Forest, I have never seen the same. It started as a joke. My friends Liam, Raquel, and Nate dared me to spend one night alone in Devil's Forest. We were in high school, seniors, stupid and full of pride. People in our town always told stories about the forest, about how it feed on fear, how people who entered it come with broken. But we did not believe in this stuff. Liam said, "Come on, Eliza, one night. You do not even have to go far. Just camp near the old watch tower." And like a fool, I agreed. I packed a tent, snacks, my dad's flashlight, and my phone. I told my mom I was staying at Raquel's house. She would not have never let me go otherwise. By 6 p.m., I was at the forest edge. The trees were tall and black against the everything sky. No birds, no winds, just silence. I walked about half a mile in and set up my near tent, the watchtower. It was falling apart, wooden steps broken, roof sagging, but it felt safer than being deep inside. Around 9 p.m., I started hearing things. At first, soft whispers, like someone was walking through leaves, just outside the tent. I thought it was an animal until I heard it say my name, Alaisa. I froze. My heart slammed against my ribs. I peeked outside with my flashlight. Nothing. But when I turned back, the zipper of my tent was open. It was sure I had closed it. I did not sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard snack sounds, whispers, breathing. I lasted until 5 a.m. That's when I heard a crying child right outside my tent. A girl, she was saying, "Please help me, I am cold." But when I looked out, there was no child, just a black shape standing in a tree, tall, thin, with no face. I do not remember running. I just remember the sound of the tree, groaning like they were live, closing in on me as I tore through the forest in the dark. My flashlight flickered. My phone had no signal. I don't care. I just run. That black shape I saw near the tree, it did not move, but I felt it, watching, waiting. And the crying, I did not stop. I followed up. It followed me. I thought I was running back the way I came, but Devil's Forest played tricks. The trail was gone, everything looked the same. Trees like black claw, branches reaching like fingers. Then I saw something in the dark. Footprint. Small ones, barefoot like a child, but only gone one way, toward me. I turned around, but no one was there. My legs shook. My breath came out in gasps. I felt like I was being hunted. And then I heard it. A second set of footsteps. Not fast, slow, deliberate, heavy, leaving crack behind me. I turned my flashlight, nothing. But when I looked down, my own shadow was stretching in the wrong direction. It was reaching up the tree. At the same point, I stumbled in a small clearing. Moonlight cut through the trees, and there she was, a little girl in the white dress, standing in the center of the clearing, her back to me. She was crying softly. I asked, my voice cracking, "Are you okay?" She did not respond. I stepped closer. "Are you lost?" She turned slowly, and my scream catch in the throat. Her face was grey, skin cracked like cold porcelain, her eyes empty, just black pits. When she opened her mouth to speak, her jaw unhinged too far. She said, "You took my place." Then she vanished, just gone. No sound, no wind, just empty forest again. I dropped to my knees. I was shaking all over. I don't understand. What did she mean? I don't taking anything. I don't remember walking, but I ended up back at the broken watchtower. The exact same point I set up the tent. But the tent was shredded, like something has crawled through it. And there, carved into the dirt where I had slept, was a word: stay. That's when I heard the voice again. Not the girl this time. A low, rumbling ground like it come from the earth itself. You were warned. You stayed. Now you belong. My flashlight exploded in my hand. Literally spark flew. I screamed and ran again. I found a trail, or thought it did. I ran until I saw the edge of the forest. I could not see the road, cars. I cried, I laughed, I almost out. And then I hit something, an invisible wall. My body slammed into the air like glass. I fell back, gasping. I tried again, same thing. I pounded my first, screamed for help, but no one could near me. On the other side of the trees, people walked by, joggers, dog walkers, but they did not see me. To them, the forest was just a forest. That's when I realized the forest has taken me. I don't remember passing out, but when I opened my eyes, I was back in the clearing. This time, the girl was there again. Only now she was not alone. A tall, black figure stood behind her, its body twisted like smoke and bone, no eyes, just a wide mouth with sharp teeth. I laid it down and whispered in my ear, "On my leave, one must stay, choose." I cried, I begged, and I give me a choice. Stay here forever, or bring something back in your place. I don't know how I agreed. I don't remember staying yes, but I woke up just outside the forest as sunrise. Mud on my hands, blood on my shirt. I was out. It's been 6 months. No one delivered my story. The store I had a breakdown. They said it, imagine it, but I know better. Because every time I sleep, I dream on the girl on her screaming, of the forest whispering, "You did not keep a deal." And last week, Nate disappeared. He went hiking alone. No one found his body, but I know where he is. The forest took him. Because I brought him there. Because I had to leave someone behind. And now I think it wants more. Something at night I heard scratching my windows. And in the shadow I see her face, that girl. And she is smiling.